Since I quit my job and started my bookkeeping business, I've made over $570,000. Here's how I did it and how you can do it too. Step 1 is to learn bookkeeping for small businesses. You're not going to learn how to do bookkeeping by piecing together a bunch of free YouTube videos. On the other hand, you also don't need a 4-year accounting degree and loads of student debt. Take this endeavor seriously, invest in yourself, and follow a tried and true program that is designed specifically for individuals who want to start a bookkeeping business without any prior experience. I went through Bookkeeper Launch, which has a 12-month payment plan as well as a money-back guarantee. If you want to save some more money on the program, use my link below. A 12-month payment plan is perfect because you can finish the program, get your business started, make some money while you pay for the program. To put it in perspective, after I enrolled in the course, over the next 12 months, I made $25,000 in revenue. Investing in Bookkeeper Launch is a net positive almost immediately if you use the payment plan. And this program is comprehensive in every way. The curriculum includes financial statements, transactions, creating vendors, creating payments, journal entries, payroll, credits and debits, all the bookkeeping foundations, but it also includes how to niche down and make sure that you stand out, how to network, how to do a consultation, how to send a proposal, how to send a contract, how to price your services, how to set up your website and Google My Business page, and how to set up a CRM. And I specifically talk about Keepful in this video here. It's everything you need to start and grow your business without having any bookkeeping or business prior experience. Like I said, they've got a 30-day money back guarantee and they're back on Facebook, and I just love reading all of the success stories. I seriously rave about this program because it changed my life. It allowed me to pay off my house, to stay home with my kids. And actually, here's a little bit of insider information. They're not going to tell you this on the Bookkeeper Launch website. When you become a bookkeeper, you see the behind the scenes in dozens of businesses, eventually hundreds of businesses. And this allows you not only to become an expert bookkeeper, but also a trained professional in the business world. And this opens so many other doors for you as well. And what that meant for us, so my husband was able to start his own business, and it's not bookkeeping related at all. He does real estate investing. And when he started his business, I was like, oh, I know how to do this. So you go online, and this is how you set up a website, and this is how you set up a Google My Business page, and this is how you network. And after like a week, everything was set up and he could really take off running. And of course, all of his bookkeeping is set up from the get-go, so he's got real numbers to work with, which really sets him up for success. So maybe just a word of warning: if you invest in Bookkeeper Launch, you set up your own bookkeeping business, you'll make $570,000. You'll make hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars if you scale and hire people. But it also gives you this entrepreneurial hunger. Of course, they can't claim that. They're not going to tell you that on the website, but it happened to us, and I've seen it happen over and over again in the Facebook group as well. A spouse will start the bookkeeping business, and before they know it, their husband or their wife will quit their job and join in the bookkeeping business, and they'll be able to do it together. And that brings me to step number 2, which is get bookkeeping clients. And Bookkeeper Launch is such an amazing program because they teach you bookkeeping and they also teach you how to get clients too. Before Bookkeeper Launch, I didn't have a background in business. I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs. I can't stress to you how much I didn't know what I was doing when I enrolled in Bookkeeper Launch and started my business. But I knew that I wanted to help people, and I knew how to follow directions. I also knew that I wanted to stay home with my kids one day, which I talk about in depth in this video. Okay, so how have I gotten clients recently? Because as you may know, when you have kids, the game changes. I can't just go to any BNI meeting that I'm invited to. I can't just meet for coffee or lunch very easily. Can you get clients 100% virtually? And the answer is yes. Last month, I closed $5,000 in cleanup alone, and I didn't even have to get on Zoom. I just did phone calls for the consultations. I did a couple of strategic things that I'm going to explain, and these apply to new bookkeepers as well as established bookkeepers. Number 1, I sent out an email to my existing email list saying, I am now accepting new bookkeeping clients after an amazing maternity leave. When you start your bookkeeping business, immediately start an email list. And this doesn't have to be fancy. You can use a CRM, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a free app, it could be whatever, but start an email list. One email sent to my list and boom, I got a consultation. The client signed on for cleanup, and hopefully they'll become a monthly client after we're done. Here's a pro tip for you that I'm actually going to do myself. After Christmas, every January, something something is in the air. Something changes, I swear. And business owners that have been absolutely blind to their horrific bookkeeping practices all year suddenly become very aware that taxes are around the corner and they start scrambling with their bookkeeping. This is the best time to hit the marketing hard. I would bet that I have gotten more clients in January and February than the rest of the year combined. And I don't have time to look at my stats on that, but I'm telling you, it's true. The return on your time invested, cold emailing and cold calling in January is so much better than the rest of the year because these business owners are already thinking about the looming taxes. Here's how I got another client. Number 2, I sent out an email to every single client that I've had a consultation with since I started my business, as long as things ended well. If things don't end well, if I fire them or if it's not a good fit, I put those in a different folder. Actually, let me show you what folders I'm talking about because this is kind of funny. So I have 6 folders within my proposals consultations. And again, this doesn't have to be a fancy CRM. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. I just have these on my desktop. Anybody can do this. So folder number 1 is current clients. Folder number 2 is warm leads. So these are people who maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe I did do some cleanup for them, but they weren't quite ready to sign up for monthly bookkeeping. Maybe they were really motivated to get their bookkeeping in order and then they just kind of lost steam, etc. My third folder I have labeled as follow up. So this is not necessarily warm leads, but these are people that I had a consultation with and maybe they just ghosted me afterward. Or maybe I even sent them the contract and they just totally ghosted me after that too. Things come up, I understand that. Not a warm lead, but this is someone who maybe their business ended up closing down, maybe they opened up another one, something along those lines. Folder number 4 is maybe follow up. So you kind of see where I'm getting at here. So these are not warm leads at all. Maybe they went with a different bookkeeper and they let me know. Maybe they said, hey, I'm going to be continuing to do the bookkeeping myself, but as long as things ended cordially, we just went our separate ways, maybe follow up, but they did give me some sort of verbal no at the time. And folder number 5 is absolutely do not follow up. So these are business owners that we went our separate ways and I had to either fire them or it just wasn't an industry that I wanted to be in. Maybe the business owner just never got back to me and I was just months and months behind on their bookkeeping because I was waiting on them. And so we went our separate ways. So do not follow up, not a good fit. And then folder number 6 is just, I can't find these business owners or these businesses. So maybe the business closed down, it changed name, maybe the person moved and I just don't have contact information for them anymore. Long story short, so I sent out an email to the business owners in folders 2 through 4, which ended up being about 30 business owners. And I got a couple of responses from different people, but one client signed up and it was someone who I had worked with on a project 6 years ago. My advice for new bookkeepers, keep track of every single consultation that you do, every single proposal that you send. And that seems really simple and easy when you've done 5 consultations or even 10 consultations, but down the road, years down the road, you're going to have done hundreds and hundreds of consultations. So make sure you have an organized way to keep up with, hey, who is a warm lead? Who is an absolutely do not follow up with? Make sure you have those categorized correctly. And again, these can be great leads to follow up with every January. And I can't tell you how many business owners have reached out to me when I cold email them in January and they say, wow, this is the perfect time. I'm so glad you reached out. And I'm like, I know. Taxes are right around the corner. Let's get going. So the third way I got a new client last month is cold emailing. So I've talked about LinkedIn in past videos, but I basically logged into LinkedIn to do what I used to do in the past to get new clients and to network and talk to people. And LinkedIn is like mostly crap now. The paywall is a huge hindrance. I mean, you can't really do anything. It's mostly just pay to play now, which is fine, but I just didn't want to go down that route yet. So instead of paying, I cold emailed every single business in the STL area within a branch of my niche. So it ended up being about 140 different businesses. I cold emailed individually every single one. So manually, copy pasting the body of the email, changing the name of the business, adding some things in after I see their website. And I individually did that because they did not opt in to my email list. That would be wrong to add them to an email list and just click send. So I manually, individually emailed every single one. And all I basically said was I introduced myself, I told them how I can help them, and I invited them to a discovery call. And if someone reminds me, I can put the script down in the comment section below. So comment below and I'll try to remember, but I'm just thinking I'm probably going to forget. So comment below and I'll post it in the comment section of the YouTube video. Not going to gatekeep anything. It's nothing fancy. Again, just introducing myself, telling them how I can help, and inviting them to a discovery call. And I just gathered all of the information from Google My Business. So I went down the list and I gathered the name of the business, the website, the business owner's name, and the contact email. And I've got that in a document. Several times I had to ask ChatGPT to find the business owner's name if it wasn't listed on the website, and it can scan the Better Business Bureau and their social media pages very quickly. So don't spend too long trying to find their email or trying to find the business owner's name. Chat can find it pretty quickly. You can also have ChatGPT try to compile everything for you. I tried this and I found that a lot of the information was incorrect. It's just too many data points for ChatGPT to compile all at once, but I did find it was good at finding like one business owner's name or one business's email. After 100 plus emails sent, I did get a client that reached out for a consultation and she signed up for a cleanup job. I am so encouraged to close so much in revenue 100% virtually and after not having done any marketing for several years. Bookkeeper Launch continues to be the best program for starting and growing your business with zero prior experience. Drop any questions that you have about Bookkeeper Launch below. I'll do my best to answer, and use my link to save some more money on their program.